Dude, he's watching Animal
Ooh.
Planet. Ooh.
Oh shit, that's nasty. You nasty.
Oh, wow. I just think that Animal Planet's porn
To
to
them,
the
yeah, the
Maximals.
Maximals, nasty.
Oh man.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Heroes Peak podcast. I am your host, Chris. I am representing the Autobots today because we are the good guys.
Oh, I forgot my
With
Decepticon
me-
T-shirt. Fuck.
With me, my friends and enemies today, representing the Decepticons. We have James. How you doing, James?
I'm actually okay. It's been a terrible week for me. As some of you guys know, gals, I'm actually going to be at San Diego Comic-Con next week.
Woo!
It was woo-woo until the writer's strike. And although I stand in solidarity.
Yes,
we all do at
we
Heroes
yeah,
Peak
that,
with the
like
actors and
yeah.
writers. Just the timing. Oh man, terrible timing. Because there's folks who are traveling internationally for this event. This is our Super Bowl. This is our Chiefs freaking.
But it's not affecting comic book writers.
Oh yeah, the original Comic Con of Comic Con. They're having in fact, they're going to be highlighted in this trip. Unfortunately,
See, I should have gotten ahead of it and sent you some comic books to get signed. That's what I should have done.
And for those of you who are subs, out of our hundreds of subs and followers here, if you're going to be anywhere in San Diego, DM us through our social media. Mike will tell you at the end of the podcast. And let's meet up. Let's talk.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great. All right. And representing the Animorphs, it's Mike.
Animorphs.
How you doing?
Jesus Christ. How old are you, man?
The Animorphs. Oh, shit.
My son loved the Animorphs.
The Maximals.
Maximals, apparently.
Yeah, Maximals. Yeah, Eric corrected me, too.
Hey,
How long do you think they sat in the boardroom trying to come up with Maximals?
5 minutes.
10 seconds. Not even. You give him too much credit.
Hey, just want to remind everyone, whenever you buy a mirror, you'll always be buying a used mirror.
Dad joke of the day.
I know.
Dad joke of the day. Thank you very much, Mike.
Where's Queen of the podcast?
All right. So today, you can probably tell, we will be talking Transformers: Rise of the Beasts, a movie better than I thought it was. We are a little late on this.
You know why? Because Michael Bay was nowhere near it.
You sure? He didn't have executive production rights? I feel like he's still getting paid. He's still getting paid.
You never know. Filming and production. Let me see. Well, I'll let Chris,
but I get your point.
Take a look at that. Yeah. We're going to talk about Transformers: Rise of the Beast here. Now, this one's directed by Steve Capel Jr. Now, interesting, he directed Creed 2. I thought was a pretty big name to have on your
African American director.
There. That's right. And we've got starring Anthony Ramos
from Brooklyn. Brooklyn represent.
And the voice acting of some wonderful behind the scenes here. We've got Ron Perlman as our Optimus Primal voice. Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime. Peter Dinklage as Scourge, which I could not have picked out for the life of me if you asked.
Me neither.
And on the opposite end of that, Michelle Yeoh as Eraser, which I definitely could have picked out. And Pete Davidson as the other big name here, over as Mirage, the new Transformer that got all the screen time.
Well, to be fair, Mirage is a classic G1 Autobot from the original series.
Yeah, but not the way Mirage, the way Pete Davidson.
The other Mirage, yeah, a lot less.
Come on, he wasn't making Wu-Tang references on the old.
Not at all. Not even at the time Run DMC references, but whatever.
Look,
don't forget Wetback. I mean Wheeljack.
I don't have. Wheeljack. Yeah, there's a
what
lot
did you
of
just say?
one-liners
Don't forget
in
who? No, before you said Wheeljack,
So,
you said something else.
no, he didn't. He said nothing. I don't know.
I said what?
I heard
What
nothing.
I know what you talk. Yeah, don't edit that part out.
Damn. We're about to get canceled, man. Canceled. Except
That's
on
right.
Twitter.
Free
Elon
speech
will love it.
for him. That's right.
Except for cis. You can't say cis. You're not a cis male on there. All right. Anyway. So, I personally am not, like, I was not a giant Transformers kid because I never got the Transformers toys. So I think I've probably said this before on air. That I did.
You did. I remember.
I got the alternative to the Transformers, and so I never got into them.
Can you explain to our audience real quick, like 30 seconds, what the alternative was?
So they weren't even big. Like, I remember my friend having like these huge Transformers, and I had I'm blanking right now. The name
the GoBots.
Jesus, GoBots. That's right, GoBots. I only had like 6 of these things, and they were all like smaller than my GI Joe.
Yes.
And they did it was like what you get the kids get now in like a McDonald's Happy Meal.
Yes.
Like the arms go in.
Yes.
The legs push
There's a whole website that
I
hope Mike links to when he does the production of the 10 worst freaking GoBots of all time. It's hilarious.
Technically, the GoBots released first.
They did.
So I had first run. I wonder if... No, they're not.
For some of us who grew up in subsidized income, and all that stuff, those were the only toys we can afford, and they were worth every penny that you scrounged to get for those toys.
See, I don't want to put it that way. I think it was more like all the money that I ever got in toys went towards like G.I. Joe and Star Wars toys.
Say less.
Like I'm not gonna go there. Like I was missing out on those. I would have loved them. I was jealous, but it's not because I didn't have other shit. And as we get to the end of this show, we're gonna get to a little peek at my childhood, the G.I. Joe here. When we get there, spoilers, everybody. There's gonna be another G.I. Joe movie. At least for now. So this, like I said, I don't have that kind of history with this. Was this is what, the 6th Transformers movie now? 7th?
5, 6, 7.
6. Yeah, I think this
is 7.
Yeah, it's 6. Wow, 7.
5 Bay Films,
but
and
we're on
in this one.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, we are technically, though, I think we're in a reboot period of the Transformers.
Soft reboot. Soft reboot.
Soft reboot. Where Bumblebee and this movie set in 1994 is basically starting the timeline.
Wait, so they weren't... Bumblebee wasn't fighting the Nazis in World War II? And there weren't Transformers fighting with King Arthur?
He was the dragons and King Arthur.
And Michael
Bay. I know. It's all confusing, Mike. It's very confusing. I understand. So, I'm going to ask you guys what you thought of Bumblebee, and do you think this new timeline is heading somewhere more interesting than the Bay timeline, which kind of peaked very early?
Michael Bay has no idea where he's going with the Transformers, because the timeline changes in every one of his films, right? So, and they seem to be getting early. Well, with the Dinobots, they were around during the dinosaurs, and then they were helping King Arthur in the last one.
Well, to be fair, this one they were hanging around with the ancient.
Well, that's the Maximals. They're different. So a little history here. True. So the Maximals, the Beast Wars TV show was a Netflix. Sorry, not a Netflix series. It's on Netflix now. It started as a syndication cartoon years after the original G1 Transformers came out.
Yeah, my children were watching this.
So and the Beast Wars was like an alternate dimension Transformers. Ooh, there's a bug in here. So Optimus Prime was Optimus Primal. Megatron was in his beast form. They never
Well, it's
changed his name,
Megatron.
but
They
he was
never
a
changed
different.
Megatron's
He
name.
didn't transform into a gun or anything. So all the characters were basically beasts. And
Wait, are you telling me advanced robots did not have guns, so he couldn't
it didn't make
transform
sense
into
in
a
the
gun?
jungle, right? So whatever.
You transform him to a
That's right.
machete.
Do you wait? Let me a bow and arrow. Do
Boner.
you guys do they have like gun arms though? Like, can they like shoot?
Like
Yeah, I
cannons,
think
I
they
know
did, and I
like
hand
think they had
cannons.
handheld weapons like Prime does. So, like Prime had a handheld weapon in the
that's just
original
like
series,
I'm
right? So,
I,
yeah,
I'm just sorting this out in my
but it
head. But
was like
sorry,
an
go
alternate
ahead.
dimension, and it was supposed to be really good. Like I've only seen a couple episodes here and there, but what really caught my eyes when the Netflix did um, their anime version a few years ago. It was a three-parter, and then
Mhm.
in the
That
third
I
part,
saw.
they
Yeah.
actually merged the Maximals and the Autobots together. So, and I thought they did it really well. So they
Mhm.
basically did that here as
Mm,
well, right? So the Maximals came to
yeah.
Earth thousands of
Right.
years ago, and were hanging out in the jungle. And I think in the cartoon, I might be wrong. People in the comments, let me know. In the cartoon, I think they arrived way before civilization as well. So, but if you remember
Yeah.
in the G1 cartoon, the ship landed at the time of the dinosaurs, and they got trapped in a mountain. They were all in
Yeah.
hibernation.
And they were
Right.
hibernated. Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
So
So James, what do you have any history with this show,
No,
or
I got a huge
Transformers in
history with
general?
the
yeah.
G1 show, and then the reboot that they did in the early 2000s. I lost track of the Beast Wars, but my son, growing up, he actually was following it, and because of him and the Christmas toys and stuff, once in a while, like, what the hell is this? Like, was this a monster, a beast? What are we
Uh huh.
doing? So because of his interest, I started a little bit here and there, but not enough for me to really care about like keeping track of all of the entire series and all the other stuff. So this movie to me made me go back in Wikipedia, my favorite little repository of information.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was confused because, like you mentioned it earlier, the Bumblebee Transformers is a soft reboot from the Michael Bay Transformers, which, to answer your original question, is Michael Bay did not have, like, he wasn't a Kevin Feige.
No.
He had the IP, he had the budget and production.
And he's good at
Yeah,
making big
but you can tell
explosions and
Yes,
things
he
look
yes.
wasn't
pretty.
like
I think he was an architect of the first movie, and after that, they were like, "Wow, we made money. Give us some more." And then he was
what
like,
do I do
"Okay,
now?
I don't know what
Yeah.
I do now." So he divorced himself from the actual TV
Hmm.
show, the '80s TV show, and just started using the characters. What they're doing right now, if I count Bumblebee in this show, I think to Mike's point, it's a combination of all of the other IP that came after the G1. It's not just the Beast
Mm-hmm.
Wars, because they're using little characters here and there from other shows that were defunct before the
Yeah.
Beast Wars. So again, me going to Wikipedia and doing a research, I realized, okay, so there's someone is involved in this, the behind the scenes architecture of where they can go, and they're making it on screen, and they're giving us these characters. We'll get into like the writing and the plot and all of this stuff, but for now, my affinity for the entire IP is me growing up being a huge G1 fan, huge fan. To me, it was a number one cartoon that I used to watch in the '80s, and the number two was
Hmm.
Thundercats, and we go forth after that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
So I think one thing that like you guys have noted is the biggest difference between this soft reboot universe and the previous one is this is definitely heads more towards having a storyline to follow as opposed to the other one which was like, hey, these are going to make the coolest things explode on the highway that we can get to. And I'd say the difference is very stark. I mean, they had some good action in this, some solid animation, some all of that. The CGI work was good, but it really it wasn't to the heights of Transformers 1 specifically. Transformers 2 starts to get iffier, and obviously it falls down from there
Great point.
until
Great
we
point.
have
Great point.
a giant Constructicon
Oh,
with
that was in the
balls
second
hanging out
one.
and smacking
He
people in the
lost me.
face.
He lost me.
Was that
A
the second one?
Transformium when the humans decided to make their own element, and the Transformers stopped transforming. They just went and
Transformium.
turned into tiny balls and moved through the air and turned into something else.
Yeah.
And every piece of mechanics
Right.
just turned into something. Magic.
Everything's
Yeah.
transforming.
It becomes magic at some point, right? Though we do get a little bit of Transformers magic
Yeah.
in this movie later
Yeah,
on.
I want to get to that.
But
Yeah.
I think number one, I'm going to say this stuck out to me. It never sticks out to me. I am not a person who listens to the music until maybe my second or third watch through, or if something specific is poked at in the movie so that you're paying attention to it. So normally it's not my deal. But this movie, I could not avoid the music in a positive way.
Mm.
I was texting James when I was watching it, and I'm just like, all my guests were like, yeah. I was
We
bopping
have
the whole
to
time.
give credit to Queen of the Pod Brooks for making a very, very, very important comment. If for those of us who are watching the movie, because full spoilers, it's 1994, if I remember correctly.
1994.
And
they tell you that by showing you the Twin Towers immediately.
Yes, and there's a Biggie song track that they play as background music that anachronistically does not work in the movie because it didn't occur. Biggie's song wasn't until 96 at the earliest, if not 97. Yeah. So
this has happened quite a lot in movies where they're trying to set a tone for a decade, and they're like, this is the year this is happening, and then they have a bad habit of not being able to.
But this is a terrible bad habit because it's first of all the locale is New York City, home of Biggie, and then you use not the
a little West Coast,
it's a
little West Coast instead.
It's a little bad there. So to Brooks's point, I gotta raise that.
And I love the soundtrack. I kind of wish they had. I mean, it was basically all hip hop, which is fine with me. But I wish they had also added the big music at the time, which was alternative. You could have had some Nirvana in there. That would have been
grunge, Nirvana. They could have, especially that third act. Yeah.
Yeah, you could always use some 9 Inch Nails in a song.
So instead of LL Cool J, don't call it a comeback.
Yeah.
Instead of LL Cool J, don't call it a comeback when Bumblebee comes out. They could have played "Smells Like Teen Spirit."
No, I would have played some Rage Against the Machine at that point.
Some Smashing Pumpkins.
There's so much to choose from, right? But I get it. They have to. There's only so much they can put in. So.
But some of it is just licensing. You're like, we're looking for cool 90s hip hop, and they're like, yeah, these are the top tracks that get licensed. Take your pick, and they're like, yeah, we'll pick that one. They're not really paying that much attention. But if you want a little bit of a, hey, I don't listen to hip hop from that decade, just pick up this soundtrack, go listen to it. Some great tunes. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just enjoy it. It's fun. Great tunes. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go to the storyline here. So this time around, instead of a Sam Witwicky, we got Anthony Ramos playing Noah Diaz. He's a big brother. His little brother is sick. They can't afford not medicine because he's got sickle cell, I believe. They mentioned sickle cell.
He can't afford whatever treatment it is. They don't have insurance.
Whatever treatment it is, which it's good to know that the United States has not moved forward since 1994.
No. And this is under Clinton's watch, by the way. The Democrats
helping children. Yes, that's right. Helping children, live. We don't care apparently. So we set up a better character with Sam Witwicky, and we have a second following. We have a Dominique Fishback playing Elena Wallace, who is. This is kind of confusing because she comes in and she seems like she's an
Yeah,
intern.
they
I
do.
think they call her an intern. Yet the police specifically ask for her her expertise on
No,
whether or not these
no, I'm going to
ancient
correct you
artifacts
there.
are real.
So the boss
Okay,
says the
correct me,
cops
please.
want expertise, and the boss says, I need you to go take a look at them. So the boss, who's a bungling idiot, is pretending she knows
Oh,
what's
okay.
going on, but
Oh, that seems
secretly goes,
more
hey,
plausible.
can you look at those and tell me what they are, if they're valuable? So I can go to the cops and say,
Right. Okay.
hey, look what I figured out.
Yeah, I didn't think she was an intern. I thought she was like a first or
No,
second
well,
year.
She
it could have been
specifically
like a
called
college
an
credit
intern.
internship, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Gotcha.
Right. I'm assuming she has some sort of degree. She actually, the way they played the
Mm-hmm.
character, she was obviously right on top of the ancient artifact
Yeah,
game. She knew what she was talking about. She could have been Indiana Jones in another movie,
she could have.
but
Probably better than Harrison Ford, but whatever.
so now what's interesting here is we've got set up instead of just a bumbling human character and a hot babe, we've got two characters who seemingly have capabilities
Right.
within this
Ramos'
universe that are
character is
useful.
an
You have this
ex-soldier.
ancient art ex-soldier plus he has
Right.
technical know-how. He opens up and he's like changing a not a DVD player. I think he's getting free
Yeah, so
cable.
he's a
He's
better
he's
version of Mark
hacking a
Wahlberg's
cable box.
wannabe inventor character from Transformers 4.
Yeah,
Yes.
and don't forget he's got a little bit of a criminal
Yeah.
element too. Him and
Yep.
his buddy.
He knows people even though he doesn't want to be a part of it
Yeah, so he's,
until a little bit of racism pushes him in that direction.
you said it, not me, but yes.
Well, he goes in for a job interview and the guy's like,
We don't serve your
we don't
kind
want your
here.
kind. We're like, what? I was like, what? And he's like, what? And he's like, yeah, whatever, and just walks away.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're doing that in this movie. Okay, all right, let's go. So his buddy gets him to, in order to make some money to help his little brother, because obviously his mom's working her butt off. He gets him to steal a car, and he just happens to steal Mirage. And at the same moment he's stealing Mirage, our other human character opens up the
MacGuffin.
artifact,
The MacGuffin.
the MacGuffin artifact, and immediately Optimus Prime is like, "Roll out!" Like, where was he hiding? Why is everybody's within like a mile of each other? Notice that? Like, nobody's
Yeah.
really far
Yeah,
away.
the bad guys too.
Everybody's
Bad guys are right there.
really close. Yeah, the bad guys, they're supposed to be searching the universe for this artifact, but they just happen to be on
They were like in Forest Hills,
That's
Queens, waiting for a sign.
like, this place looks good in this universe. I guess we'll wait here. Yet it all right, like, I gotta say that the main bad guy, the main threat of this is Unicron. Like, we're starting out.
Oh yeah,
This is DC universe.
Yeah.
This is the DC universe all over again. We're starting
Although,
big, man. Immediately,
Darkseid.
although I did
global
love the look
threat.
of Unicron, it was well done. You know, throwback to the '86
Yeah.
movie. You know, Unicron. I don't know who voiced Unicron though, because in the
I had it here.
Because in the '80s it was Spock. The actor
no.
Leonard Nimoy did it in
No,
the '80s. No, Orson Welles. Orson
You're
Welles.
right. Spock did.
Orson
He
Welles.
did Galvatron's voice. In the
Yes, correct. My bad.
yeah, who did?
Oh, it's not on this
who
list.
did?
That's weird.
Yeah,
Thanks for
wow.
nothing at IMDb.
I'll find it later.
Mike will look. Okay, so, but Unicron, he obviously can't make it as fast as his little buddies looking around the universe
Nope.
for this device to get him immediately to whatever planet.
Just like the '80s.
That's right. And they all happen to be on the same planet, and we found half the device, and big fight ensues. So let's get into this. What did you guys think of the action? Did you think that was well played out? Did you think that it was well designed, especially in this first half? Let's break this movie into two halves like it should be. I honestly thought, you know, Optimus looked a little worse for wear. Got his ass handed to him very easily. I was a little surprised at how weak he looked to the Silver Surfer. I mean,
Surfer.
what's his name?
What?
Surfer.
Uh, Stratosphere. No, what's his name? There's Unicron.
You talking
Unicron
about
is Coleman
Scourge?
Domingo, by the way.
Ooh, great
Okay.
actor, by the way.
Yeah,
Scourge.
Coleman
Coleman,
Domingo.
and he's
I
got
like
a
him.
great
Peter
voice.
Dinklage to Scourge.
Yeah, he's a great actor too.
Yeah, Scourge is playing the Silver Surfer
Right.
role
Okay.
here.
I gotta
He's
prep the
looking
planet.
for the
Yeah,
planet for his.
before Galactus
Oh
comes. Yeah.
yeah. This is where I start nitpicking this movie. God.
I don't want to nitpick. I get it. It's this is not something like is out of nowhere. This is something that they back in the 80s. This Transformers had Unicron and he ate
No,
planets.
but
It's
when I
not
say
like
nitpicking, I mean like the '80s actually had a little more depth than these movies. Even this movie, because I first of all, Bumblebee dies again. He dies in this first half, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go.
because he's the only one you care about.
He
He's the
dies.
only
Him
one
or
who
Prime. One of
I don't care.
these last
I
seven
don't care.
movies, one of these
Yeah.
two have to
I
die.
care if
It's a
Prime dies,
formula,
but I don't
and
care
I'm
if
getting
Bumblebee
tired of
dies.
it. I'm getting tired of
Yeah.
it. Mirage's character, because maybe it's because it's Pete Davidson's voicing it, got tired real quick for me, real quick. I did like Scourge being the villain because to me he felt like a real threat
I,
in the beginning, maybe too much of a threat. To your point, Chris, you were like, "Well, wow, he's really handing
yeah.
Prime his breakfast,"
He wasn't a
and I'm like,
bungling
"Okay,
idiot
so
like
you're set,
Megatron in the Bay movies or Starscream. Yeah.
yes." So now you're giving me this feeling of this guy is like the biggest threat we've seen so far in the
he
Transformers
was. Yeah.
IP. So I'm like halfway. Oh man, Bumblebee dies again, and oh wow, this guy's a real threat. Like I'm like halfway with
Yeah.
it. Humans are actually getting killed, whether on screen or off screen. Humans are getting
It
killed,
was all security guards and cops. Everybody who
So
but
they all
died
that was
deserved it.
was a
fresh.
That
security
we
That
guard
said.
or a
was
cop.
that was fresh compared to the Michael Bay movies where you saw buildings explode. You assume there were occupants in there that also died, but it wasn't really like in your face.
Lots of cars on the highway. They were dead people in those cars on the highway. This one, like, I was texting you, James, and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, nobody's dying. And all of a sudden, there was a car chase, and a cop goes sideways, face for. Oh, no. There
The
was like
ramp. He went over the ramp thing.
a truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a
Yeah.
truck just.
And you got to think this is
smashes him and he goes that
'94.
way.
Airbags weren't the big thing
Wow.
yet, and half the
There weren't side
population,
airbags. There
half the
definitely were not
population
side
still
airbags.
refused to wear a seatbelt.
Seatbelts, yeah.
Right.
There was nobody surviving these collisions.
Hmm.
They do not care about collateral damage. They're as bad as Indiana Jones, man. They do not
Yep.
care what happens to your city. Fast and Furious, DC Universe, Indiana Jones, we do not care about your city, man. We're just these Americans are gonna destroy everything.
And the MCU.
MCU don't care. Tony Stark will at least buy your building before he destroys
True.
it with the Hulk. So Mike, did you like the threat? Did you the nameless little spider guys, Scourge, the whatever his name was with the
Yeah, I
chains
like Scourge and I like the
weapon?
minions.
Like
I thought they were fine. Good enemies. They all, so in this one too, they all look different. My problem with the Bay Decepticons was you could, when there was a big fight scene going on, you can't tell who's who in the Decepticons. Megatron looked like Starscream. They all looked alike.
I don't know,
So
my one problem with Scourge is he only transformed once, and he
a
transformed
truck.
into like a dark gray version
Yeah.
of Optimus
Prime,
Prime,
yeah.
which I thought was a little uninventive. Like, give me something different. Give me
Yeah, because there was
I don't
that
know.
character did exist in the G1 after the movie. If I remember correctly, it was like a spaceship.
Yeah, so
or a
Scourge
jet.
was one
It
of
could be.
the
Scourge actually,
Scourge
yeah.
was a
Go ahead, Mike.
Decepticon who was a jet fighter. When Megatron and some of the Decepticons got tossed into space, Unicron picked them up
Yeah,
and
you
gave
go.
them new bodies. So Megatron became Galvatron,
Yes.
and this Decepticon became Scourge, the tracker.
Scourge.
Scourge was a
Yeah.
tracker. So
And that's a type of truck. You
yeah,
could have
but
made him a
he
tracker.
was still in that one in the animated.
He could have been an F one
Yeah,
fifty.
That's right. There you go.
there you go.
Fords are evil. You could have made him
By the way, Ford, hit the dollar sign and sponsor
sponsor.
us.
Sponsor us. Fords are evil. Sponsor us, please. Um, no, I thought they definitely felt like a threat. It really felt like some of the Autobots. I love the look of the Autobots. I don't obviously it wasn't as complex as the Bay stuff. Like especially number one was almost overly complex,
Yeah,
but it was cool to
apparently.
watch.
So if you watch it
Even
behind the
though
scenes from first movie, it's like thousands of moving parts and the transformation of like Prime. Like when they do the CGI and
right,
all the gears and all the stuff are transforming. I don't like that. I didn't like it. I preferred,
No one
yeah,
cares. None of us cared
I
about it.
preferred this style, and I preferred the look of Prime because he looks more like Prime in this one.
Yeah,
And
well, there's
yeah,
color to him,
but he
like you
doesn't
said.
have.
there's
He
more
wasn't
color.
because the first one they had to use Chevy trucks and vehicles because of the licensing, and in this one they
Yeah.
were able to
Okay.
branch out to the actual vehicle types. So
Yeah, I did like the transformations. I did like the more simple look. One of the other things that uh, Bay always did was he did like extreme
yeah,
close ups of these kind of stuff, even the battles, and it was
oh yeah,
really hard to watch, really hard to keep track of. Whereas this, I definitely didn't get that problem, especially this first battle on the lawn. Like the camera stayed back, you got to see what was going on, even if stuff was moving a little, you know, a little off to the edges where you couldn't always see.
Mm,
I did like it overall. I did think it was more trackable in the fight,
same.
even
right.
if not as complex. And the small one, what was her name?
RC.
RC.
Um, RC.
RC.
Yeah, I liked having. Interestingly, Autobots always seem to be smaller. They never seem to be as big or as powerful
Mm-mm.
as the other ones. You know, you got Bumblebee, you got RC,
That
you
this
got
is since the
Yeah,
G1 series. That's been the same.
it's
Decepticons have
it's
been
like
like, for whatever reason, they were like the
jet
larger.
fighters and
Because
tanks
right.
and
a little bit of
types.
quick history here. The Generation One and the comic books before the TV
Mm-hmm.
show, or comic books after the TV show, is you realize that the Decepticons were warriors in
Yeah,
Cybertron. The Autobots were regular citizens, other than Prime, who rebelled against the party, the political party that was Megatron and the Decepticons. So they weren't natural warriors. Most of them were not natural warriors. There's a handful of them.
Make Galvatron.
Ironhide.
mm-hmm.
Oh, stop it! So make Cybertron great again. Actually, that was Megatron's
yeah,
thing. And Prime recruited all of the non-warriors to his side. So that's why the Autobots, in the original series and also in the comic books, were seen to be more peacemakers. They were smaller. Like even what they transformed into was more like convenience type of equipment. Whereas the Decepticons were all
yeah,
military,
right.
tactical, like equipment. So it made sense for them to be larger and stronger and more like warrior like.
I like that they keep that way, but it bugged me when Mirage was able to choose which kind of vehicle. He's
I
like,
feel like Pete
"Hey, you can
Davidson.
sell
I feel
me,"
like Pete Davidson probably
and,
went to the
and
writing rooms like, "Hey guys, I have an idea."
and I was like, "Well, hey, if you can do that, can't you not be a VW bus and be something a little bit better? Can't you have like a 4-wheel
I
drive
think that was
Jeep or
Pete
something,
Davidson.
man?"
I think that was all Pete Davidson. My thoughts.
Because right, you get one choice, right? Like when you first pick, and that's who you are.
It's not like
Right?
the
Am I wrong?
Skrulls and Marvel where you get to pick multiple different transformations. Once
Right.
you pick one, you're locked. That's it forever.
Oh man, not good. Not good. All right. So I think we kind of like that, and then we get them, and we have to find now. It's not the Allspark. It's some sort of
The other MacGuffin. The other
transformation.
MacGuffin.
What's the MacGuffin? It's like a
It's
trans
something
something.
Transwarp
that
key.
Unicron
Transwarp
needs.
key. Yeah.
Yeah,
Transwarp
transwarp key.
transwarp.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And so immediately they lose it. Because they don't win any fights. This is not them winning fights and keeping the thing at bay. They literally lose the fight. They lose the transwarp gate, and obviously they're lucky
they
because
lose Bumblebee
it's only
too.
half the.
Bumblebee dies.
Bumblebee dies immediately. Thank you. I did not like Bumblebee's use of non-radio speak. If you're going to do the speech the way they were doing it in the original in the Bay formers, I like that it was radio station, like he's finding the words. This one was like movie quotes,
Yeah.
like famous movie quotes.
Yeah,
It didn't feel right.
yeah.
Didn't work as well. All right, anyway, he was dead, so it doesn't matter. You don't have to listen to him. He's dead.
Once again,
So instead of leaving well enough alone, they hire the biggest, the biggest biplane, not biplane,
no, was it a
Cargo
seaplane?
propeller plane.
Propeller plane.
Yeah,
Cargo plane.
cargo
Yeah, like a
plane.
C-137, C-131 Galaxy.
Yeah, but basically about that size because Optimus Prime can just sit inside and he's fine.
He's got leg room.
Optimus Prime seemed to move. He kind of changed size a little bit for me in this one.
Yeah,
Well,
scaling issues with this
like-
movie. Yeah,
There's some scaling issues. So, and they go to Peru instead of going, oh, we can't find it, so they can't find it. We're going to go
to South
find
America.
it so they can just, so they can
Surprised they
find
didn't
us.
do another
You know,
China trip to
this-
get that China bucks in the box office.
They knew they were getting a China bucks regardless. They were like, we need some of that South
Yeah,
American
right.
money now.
yeah,
some
we're going to
pesos.
spread out here. So they go to, plus, Peru's got some great mountains and ruins we can destroy, right?
Yes.
So they fly down to Peru. They meet a an Autobot with an accent. I don't know why you would question why he would not. I would assume you'd have the local accent, like wherever you land and your home base is. Like you would pick that shit up, right? Am I wrong?
Well, he should have
Yes.
been speaking Spanish. I don't know why he was automatically speaking English.
Yeah.
He was speaking English with
Yeah.
a Spanish accent.
Do they speak Portuguese
Spanish.
or
It's Spanish.
Peru, no, the Spanish.
Spanish.
It's Spanish.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's Spanish.
Spanish?
Yeah.
Okay, I just don't know.
That's Brazil.
That's
You're thinking of
Brazil.
Brazil.
Yeah,
That's the
it's
only country in South
Portuguese
Brazil.
America.
Okay,
speaking
okay.
country. Yeah.
All right. So, and of course, there's humans there, so we're just gonna stand on this mountain as giant robots, and no one's gonna see us. We're just gonna stand here. You humans go down and find the magic stone, and again they get chased by the little spider bots who can't kill two humans who have no idea what they're doing. Those things weren't very good. They weren't very good at their jobs. But the transwarp gate piece isn't there, so they have to go into the mountains. They follow it out, and immediately they're met by who? But the Animorphs. Or the Maximals. Whatever.
Maximals.
Maximals.
Get it right.
Maximals. Because in all of Peru, they're right there. They're just right next to where
They've
they're
been
like,
there.
we took
They've
that.
been there since before the Transformers. I'm sorry, the Autobots arrive on Earth. That's the other key thing.
But what's funny, he's like, we took it out of there because it could be dangerous because someone could steal it. But we kept it right here.
Right here.
Like a mile down the road.
Yeah.
Like we didn't move it very far. Maybe we shouldn't have put like symbols and shown people where to find it. Maybe we should have just buried it. But no.
We put it on our
People
roof
wanna
because we get
leave.
better TV reception with it. So
right?
right.
They duct taped it to the hanger. It's the
exactly.
90s. You got hangers up there.
Yeah.
You're stretching it
Trying to
out.
watch squiggly Skinamax at night. You got to move the antenna a little bit.
Yeah. HBO.
Dude, he's watching Animal
Ooh.
Planet. Ooh.
Oh shit, that's nasty. You nasty.
Oh, wow. I just think that Animal Planet's porn
To them, yeah,
the
the Maximals. Nasty.
Oh man.
Sorry, kids.
Moving on.
Sorry, kids. We're gonna ruin your childhood, right? But from here, things move a bit quickly. Like they said, you know what? Nothing's going to get in our way of getting to the end fight anymore. Things are going to happen. The bad guys are following them. They obviously didn't matter that they went to like the other hemisphere, the southern hemisphere from New York. They were just like right there. Every time
Like,
they
how
were
the hell
within
did
like
they
a mile
track
of them.
him? Now that I'm thinking, I mean, yeah, Scourge in the TV show, the cartoon, he's a tracker, but they didn't give us any hint.
They didn't show it. They just
He
were
just knew
there. They
exactly
were
where we're
just
gonna
like
be.
he's like they're gonna go find it and we're
We're
gonna
gonna
follow
follow
them.
them.
And we're like, okay, sure. They're just
Stupid.
not good at this. Look, this is early Optimus Prime. He has never been good at.
Yeah, this
I
Optimus
mean,
Prime is terrible as a leader,
Yep.
by the way.
he's also in the streets of like this small town in or village in Peru or whatever city town, and he's a giant Mack truck,
Yeah.
like a bright red and blue Mack truck. I'm like, dude, you're not blending in.
Yeah.
It's supposed to
You're
be
you're
robots
just
in
sitting there.
disguise, not like fucking like.
This isn't Route 66. You're just sticking out.
Mm.
So, I thought it was funny the Pete Davidson Porsche when he had the people taking pictures on him. I thought
Oh
that was a
yeah,
funny
the
detail.
I mean,
yeah.
That was cute.
So
The,
real quick, there's a problem with getting
mhm.
certain voice actors to do certain roles in all genres, not just the Transformers movies. When when they overshadow the character that they're
Yeah.
voicing, it doesn't really help. It doesn't help the
You mean they should
character.
have gotten Aquafina to
Oh my god, no. That's like going no, no, no.
that's even farther
Yes.
forward into
So the
the
entire
this is
time I'm watching the character that we grew, forget about the fact that we knew the Mirage in the original show. Let's just say I'm brand new to this entire Transformers experience, other than like maybe Bumblebee, and I'm watching this movie, and all I hear is Pete Davidson's freaking anal SNL voice. I have no care or concern about his character because to me, I'm thinking it's Pete Davidson being lanky and like the raccoon eyes and like I'm like, I don't care. Like, get this guy off my screen. He's annoying.
but
Even that
the
heartfelt moment
modern
between him and Andre Ramos when he gives him his body up for him to I'm like, oh my god, finally get this guy out of this freaking movie. Let's move on.
it seems like the bigger the animation movie in this is a specifically I don't know about foreign animation, but in America, in major animation or voice acting in these kind of movies, they always seem to want to get the biggest actor, not voice actor, not a quality voice actor. They want the biggest actor. Think Jack Black. Jack Black is constantly everywhere, and I can't not
And I
hear
that's like
Jack Black
so
when he's
the
on a
opposite effect
voice.
though, I thought was Michelle Yeoh, Oscar actress, even before
Mm.
she got her Oscar.
I can
I knew it was her voice, but yet it felt her character to me matched the voice to the point where it. This is my opinion. I actually believed her character, knowing that who the actress was. Unlike Pete Davidson, where it was like, oh my god, this fucking buffoon.
I
Like,
think I,
yeah, there are definitely actors they get because they are like the actor's persona is what
yeah.
they're putting into the character.
yeah,
They're not creating a
the
character.
king of that is Eddie Murphy, in my opinion. But
So
like Pete Davidson
Yeah.
was just the opposite of
yeah,
all of that.
I agree.
Sorry,
No,
I
no,
went on a tangent
I
there.
agree. Davidson was a bit too much, and Michelle Yao. I think the script they gave her was perfect for the character.
Yeah, it was
She
good.
wasn't
Yes,
comic relief,
yes.
so everything she delivered had like a passion or uh,
It felt like her
urgency.
in a
Yeah,
Decepticon. I'm sorry, an Autobot
yeah.
body.
So
Yeah,
whereas Pete was
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be the comic relief guy, and like to me, honestly, I don't need any celebrity names except for Peter Cullen. I need Peter Cullen as Optimus, and maybe bring the I forget his name right
same.
now, but the guy who does Megatron's voice. Other than that, if you don't want to use original voice actors, I don't care. I don't need any celebrities to do voices. Like for the most part, they don't have
Yeah,
celebrities
and
doing voices in the Bay films. So
Yeah,
yeah, and if you go to any standard like animation television series, you have professional
Yeah.
voice actors doing the work. It's only when they get into these bigger movies that they're like, let's put
The
Chris
biggest
Pratt in there.
names,
And you're like,
yeah. Chris Pratt will
why?
play
I mean,
Mario. I'm like,
Exactly.
why? What the fuck?
and there are exceptions. Ron Perlman did a great job,
He did. Yeah.
and I generally think I can spot out Ron Perlman's voice, but sometimes there is a voice, you know, you're like it fits the character enough, and they're giving the character in the writing enough that it's not just like, hey, Pete
I'm not
Davidson,
gonna lie.
go Pete
Ron
Davidson.
Perlman kind of
Right.
looks like the character he's portraying on screen, and no offense.
Those are the best. That's how you know. That's how you know. Like when Pixar, they're like, hey, this guy is Mr. Incredible, and you're like, yeah,
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 I
he
can
is.
see that. Yeah, fuck
Like
yeah.
that.
It's not just the
Those
voice.
are the
Yeah,
best ones.
Yeah, I mean, when
Yeah.
you talk
so
about
yeah.
Peter Dinklage as Scourge, like for the most of the movie, I didn't even connect that it was Peter Dinklage.
We didn't
Yeah,
care. Scourge could have been like freaking I don't know,
yeah,
Steve Kerr.
but it's because, but
It
it's also
didn't
because
matter.
he wasn't like his Game of Thrones
It's like
character talking
Steve
about
Kerr.
I'm
I
sorry.
drink and I know things. You know what I mean? That would have taken you out of the movie
Now, now,
completely. So
now I want you to take NBA players and put them in
yeah,
as these characters on TikTok. There,
Freaking
you'll
John
get some
Morant could
answers.
have played Scourge. You know, I'm like, yeah, I believe that.
yeah,
Anyway, so we get to this part, and this was a bit weird to me. Suddenly, like this is where they kind of stop care. I don't want to say they stopped caring. It's never the good way to describe it because these people are putting work in,
Mm-hmm.
but the script really kind of fell apart for me around this area.
Mm,
So we get another big
we
fight,
agree
and
here.
suddenly Scourge has the ability to infest characters to the point of them like mind controlled to his side.
Mm,
Like, why isn't he doing this everywhere? Why isn't he like just peppering the entire city with you know
Scourge juice,
scourge blood or whatever
Scourge
the heck,
jism.
scourge juice everywhere?
because now he's close
Like,
to his mission. Because remember, I think there's a moment in the third act when he's like realizing, like, okay, he's gotten this far. He's finally about to complete his task. So he's going
Mm-hmm.
all out. And for whatever reason, before this moment, he was going half in. He was half measuring.
well, he got his ass kicked by not Ultron,
No,
Jesus,
Unicron.
Ultron.
Yeah.
Unicron.
Unicron.
Unicron
Yes.
basically Unicron called him an idiot and almost crushed him,
Correct.
but he needs
So
him.
now he's going all the way in. So now he's using his entire, skill set and powers and everything. Again, turn my brain off and accept what I'm watching on screen.
Yeah. Well, and that's where I get frustrated because in the first half I felt everything set up, like the emotional setup, the character setups, the character arc setups were better. I'm not saying we're not talking Oppenheimer level here, but
Woof.
we're
Woof.
talking we're talking pretty quality for a Transformers movie in character and emotional
Yeah, I'm not gonna
stakes,
lie.
right?
Yeah, I agree.
Um, and then they just kind of speed run this end part. Suddenly, Michelle Yao's bird character has to die.
Yeah. Mm,
Just because.
mm,
Just because she would be too powerful in the end fight.
yeah.
Like it didn't feel like, and you would think, okay, so we're doing the Superman kills Zod part because Optimus Primal has to kill her. And you're like, okay, this is going to be big. This is going to be a big emotional stake thing. And then after he does it, he's like, nope, this is my job. This is what I got to do. And like, that's it. We don't we don't address that again. We don't try to put her on the special rock that Bumblebee got, the resurrection rock that they set up, sort of. It's just she's gone. She's dead. Okay, she was a sacrifice. I get it. It's tough. We can't have Optimus Primal and his gang running
It's
around too
robot
much because
sexism.
they're gonna kick some ass soon.
You know what? The issue is with that. I mean, my
She got
opinion,
fridged.
she got fridge, but the entire Maximals, other than Optimal Prime, Optimal Prime, like there's two other characters that get no dialogue at all, right?
Nothing.
Michelle Yeoh playing the other, famous character.
She got good.
She got good
was
scenes, and then she got
movie.
scourged and killed. So
right.
if I was like a younger generation looking forward to, the Primal Beast, the Beast War characters, I'd be fucking pissed.
Because she had the best moves too. She was flying around. She had like fire breath. She had like lightning shit she could shoot. She was awesome.
She was.
Like she had some
and then
great stuff. It was
murder,
right?
so we can get to see Bumblebee jump out to the LL Cool J. Don't call it a comeback. Freaking yeah,
exactly. Okay, and this is where we get. This is reasons why this movie isn't an A. They're like, oh my god, we're gonna lose now because they've got the thing. You got the magic sky beam's gonna come up, and there's nothing we can do.
The magic sky beam.
And they're like, hey, I wrote shit down, and I think I got the code. They're like, oh, great. There's some human-sized holes that we can send you through, and we'll cause a distraction. We can't blow it up because if we blow it up, it'll blow up. It'll kill everybody.
Which didn't make any sense, but again, turn
didn't
my
make
brain
any sense
off.
Because at the end they blow it up and it doesn't. Yes. And it only would have killed the one person who made the sacrifice. And I'm like, you can't set that up. You can't tell me I can't blow it up, only for like, hey, we made the countdown. We just barely made it. That's good enough. You don't have to. Oh, we're gonna have to blow it up anyway.
Yeah.
Like they set these things up at the end, and then it just like their follow through doesn't seem right. I don't know. Did you feel that way? Like this whole end battle.
So, Chris,
probably the
I know you're being very delicate about this, but let's be honest. To me, this is the weakest part of the movie. Is the third act.
No, I agree.
And this is where I was sitting in the movie theater, live thoughts, thinking like, "Oh my god, this is no different than the Michael Bay trash." Like, and then when Andre Ramos got the fucking Mirage's body skeleton, so again, they gave us a scene where you're supposed to feel for Pete Davidson's character, which I had no feeling for, and then all of a sudden now he's a transformer, and I'm sitting there like. I'm looking around the audience.
The humans are the worst parts of these movies. They're the worst parts of all of these. I didn't give a shit about any of their backstories. I didn't give a shit about the brother with the fucking Ebola. None of it. Cut it out of the movie. It has no fucking use in the movie.
Look.
Yeah, but
I think at least
this is the reason why.
At least
go ahead, Chris.
At least, what's her name? Dominique Fishback's character. At least she had
she's a standout.
She's the one who She's the one who located both of the pieces of the thing. She's the one who made it into, deciphered the Indiana Jones stuff. She's the one who had the code. Like her character fit.
Yes.
They found places for her to.
Her character is probably the best human character I've seen in these movies, since the original. Since the original Shia LaBeouf character, the first movie.
That one was terrible,
I don't know why.
Yeah,
I don't know why Anthony Ramos's character. He's supposed to be the heart of the film because he's got a sick brother, and he's got no money. Okay, I get that. But why is G.I. Joe going after him?
Hold on. We're jumping a little too far. Let's start with the fact that he became a Transformer himself. And to me, I'm thinking this must be a fucking toy. I know what they're doing here. They're giving us so you could be a Transformer too because of the movie. And Andre Ramos became a Transformer. And I'm sitting there like, no fucking way, Mattel. No fucking way.
And not only is he a Transformer, but he's going up against the one that kicked Scourge, against him, the guy who kicked Optimus Prime's ass. But he's like running around and he's like, I'm awesome now. Like, what are you, Blue Beetling this shit?
I hated this part of the movie. I'm sitting there like, you guys were so close to landing the plane, literally landing the plane, and now you're giving me this bullshit third act? Like, it
would have been better if Dominic Toretto came over the hill I would have been like, "That's right,
For
family.
for family.
But so they distract all of our characters that we wanted to see finally win a fight. Oh, hey, we got new good guys. So now we can go up against the bad guys who've been winning every other fight, right?
Yeah.
No, we're going to throw a whole bunch of stupid little spiders and scorpions and shit and we'll ignore them. They can just fight those little guys and the rest of the fight is just now the human gets to
Be the
fight
hero.
like
Yeah.
a transformer. Yeah. No. And then even worse than that, they beat Scourge. Optimus Prime sacrifices himself to do what they said they shouldn't do, which is blow up the thing, and then he's going to disappear. And the multi-ton robot is being sucked into space, but the little 5'10" human in a robot suit can grab and hold him like Captain
the
America
helicopter."
holding a helicopter and fight against the pull of the Unicron plot hole that's in the sky.
Yeah, you're gonna lose me here in this part. Yeah, I'm done.
It this is where this stuff gets frustrating and you're like, what are they doing? At what point did we lose the track of the text on our
Yeah, it's kind
written
of like they
scripts? I'm
got
sure
up
the written
all the way up
script
to this
didn't
point,
say.
and they didn't know what to do next. So it was kind of let's throw
Yeah,
whatever at the wall and see what sticks.
if
It's okay to let the humans. Holy shit! The
Yeah,
robots are
let
fighting.
them
Let me
fight.
just stay
Yeah,
out of the way.
let them
Right? I mean,
fight, let
what
them
imagine if
happens?
Ken
fight,
Watanabe
Godzilla.
got in the middle of Godzilla and Kong
Yeah,
and be like,
there you go. Let them
yeah,
fight.
Let him jump on the
hmm
back of a spider. The spider's running around, and he's just holding on for dear life,
yeah,
and that's his job. Like he's just in this weird like spider riding thing. The girl is trying to get the code in. She's doing her thing, and that's it. Like, and then let the Optimus Prime
yeah,
be Optimus Prime. Like, let him be what we know he can be, right?
yeah.
Right.
All right. We're finally to the best part of the film.
Uh oh. G.I. Joe.
So so after they win, after he becomes a hero in a super suit, he gets a job interview, but the job interview is with the little card turns it around, it's GI Joe. Okay, so I know Hasbro is making a universe.
Yeah.
They're
Everyone's
trying
making
to
universes
they're
these
trying to
days. Come on.
these toy companies, Mattel, Hasbro, whatever, all of their IPs are sitting there. We're about to go watch
Barbie.
Barbenheimer,
Barbenheimer.
and because I'm waiting for the Oppenheimer Barbie. Please,
Yeah.
please, please, please release an Oppenheimer Barbie. It's got to work. Anyway, so they're gonna make these universes, but we've had failure after failure of GI Joe. The simplest, like all these other ones, are like, how do you make a Matchbox Cars game? How do you make a Battleship movie? GI Joe is simple. It's just an
Mhm.
action, just a basic action military movie, which we've had for hundreds of years in this country.
Mm-hmm.
I swear. And why can't we get this right?
Because they're trying too
You're
hard.
trying too hard, yeah. Like,
And
wow.
look,
I
my
see. Go
one,
ahead.
my one, I got one gripe with that scene when he was like, "Yeah, we go after global threats." Where the fuck were you in Peru?
That wasn't global enough. That was too localized.
I go.
Yeah. It didn't hit London,
A
Paris, or New
plane was
York.
coming through the
Listen,
atmosphere.
London, Paris, New York. It's got to be one of the major cities.
Tokyo.
Mm,
They might help.
Tokyo.
No,
No, not even.
I mean, seriously, at what point when you
that's
see the
Godzilla's
planet
job.
come, when you see Unicron coming through the clouds, do you not send the Air Force up to investigate?
Not yet. You want to see what?
No, no, no. You got to do what they did in the MCU government. You got to nuke New York.
There
Yeah.
That's
you
the
go.
only thing you can do. Nuke New
Nuke New
York
Well,
when you
York.
see a hole in the sky.
that whole end battle reminded it was like a mashup of me for me of Endgame and Avengers One, where it's a big gray sky open field battle, but they got to close the portal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was it. And then as far as GI Joe, It would be nice if we get a good G.I. Joe movie. Just don't cast Marlon Wayans and Channing Tatum. Like, I got no
Well,
problem with Marlon
obviously, we're
Wayans
getting Anthony
in a comedy.
Ramos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Chris.
guess if
I
you,
think
but
if they get the right writers and the right cast, they can do a decent multiverse, or not multiverse, a decent universe of Transformers and GI Joe characters. To keep it simple. But Mike said it exactly earlier. The previous movies they went too hard. Like they overdid shit. They didn't have to.
Yeah, they
yeah.
Snake
did the super
Eyes, all of it,
suits.
like that was just
And
stupid. Nobody asked for that stuff. Make it like
what's amazing is the best and only great scene so far is Snake Eyes fighting on the ninjas on the side of a
but we
mountain.
don't
On the
need any
side
of
of the
that
mountain.
stuff. Give us some like Navy SEALs level of like military warfare in this world
Oh,
of like
Charlie
Transformers.
Sheen, he's back.
Like
Navy SEALs too.
I didn't mean
No,
the actual
but you know
movie,
what?
but yeah.
But seriously, but
Dennis
you know what's cool
Haybert.
to me about what was cool to me about GI Joe wasn't just soldiers versus bad guys. They both of them had cool tech to go with it, and they tried that in the first movie, and it was so weird. Like, do something. I don't know. I'd like to see the cool tech. I just don't want to see it so over the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I
But I
mean?
think in a world where you already have like transforming robots, it can kind of work if you do
Yeah.
it right. If you do it right, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
Like some side of like you got to show them sharing tech. Like the
Something.
the fact that the Mirage was able to hand him like a glove, codpiece glove or whatever it was. You don't know what
Hmm.
part of the body it came from.
Ew, nasty.
That was funny. So he gave him this glove that was a flashlight slash gun. Good combo. Yeah, sure, why not?
Hmm.
But like, have them be like, "Hey guys, you can do that," and then at the end, Anthony Ramos can just rebuild him. Okay, why don't we rebuild the bird too?
Yeah. Right.
Rebuild the bird.
Rebuild Michelle Yao.
Poor Michelle
No.
I
Yao. Yeah.
know.
All right. Anyway,
No sequel
anyway,
for her.
she's too big of an actress right now.
She
You
got
only
that
get
paycheck.
one.
You know, shout out to you, Michelle
You get
Yao.
you get
Keep
one.
getting
That's
paid.
right.
You finally deserve making this big money.
I mean, she also made a horrible Witcher prequel,
Doesn't matter.
but it's not
I
her fault. It
haven't
was
even
a
seen
horrible
that.
Witcher
Doesn't
So
matter.
prequel.
She had
It was
bills to
bad.
pay, and she's paying them now.
that's right.
And then she went and got herself an Oscar.
Yes.
She's doing both.
Now her
Awesome.
acting rate, assuming SAG negotiates, is going to be even higher.
That's right. Good. Anyway, so yeah, be interested to see what direction they go in now. This was a step down from Bumblebee for me.
I agree.
I'm
They got to hit the
giving
2000s
this.
now. Hold on, before you give it a grade, talking
Okay.
about
Yeah.
future outlook of this IP, I think they've got to give us a trilogy, and it has to be in the early aughts with catching us up to speed before the Michael Bay movies. Because remember, this is supposed to be a soft reboot. It's not a total reboot. So you got to get us.
Definitely gonna play Creep in the opening.
Oh fuck yeah, shit, Jesus.
And then we'll throw in
And
I Need a
Cisco, dong,
Hero.
dong,
I Need a
dong.
Hero is gonna
And then,
play. We're gonna end with Lana Del Rey for some reason. Hey, this just worked for Marvel. We can do
Some
this.
Gautier in there.
ooh,
Somebody I used to know.
give me some early David Guetta.
Uh-huh.
That being said,
Some Macklemore.
yeah. So all right, let's go to the grades now. We're way
Yeah.
off. All right, Chris, you start first.
All right. I started really high and I was really into it. I was even into the humans for the most part. But they the third act just really lost me. Unfortunately, I really wish they hadn't gone for the super suit, but I get it. It's still better, still improved. I'm going B minus. I think I'm giving it maybe a higher grade because I felt good watching it. I had a lot of fun. Maybe because I had really low expectations. My expectations of this were in the dirt, even after Bumblebee. So
Yeah.
that is helpful when you're watching a movie and you go, "Oh, hey, I'm having fun." Same thing happened with the first Venom movie. I was like, "Oh, this was fun." And then the second one, I was like, "Oh, this sucks." All right,
Yeah.
so have low expectations is my suggestion for
There
everybody,
you go.
and go
And
in
you'll
and
never
have
be
fun.
disappointed.
That's right. All right, Mike, what's your grade?
Yeah, so this one was also better than I thought it was going to be. I agree, it wasn't better than Bumblebee. I think I liked Haley Steinfeld's character
Oh, much
better than
better.
Ramos's character.
That
She
woman is
didn't,
winning in all of her character roles, by the way.
yeah, and she didn't have like a family full of issues to worry about. She just wanted a car for her birthday. That's all she wanted, you know.
That's right.
So I'm gonna go with a C plus on this one.
Oof.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's
Understandable. All right,
So this is
James, what do you got?
funny because I think I did I do a quick peek? I'm not sure, but I did tell you
I
guys
think
my
you did when you
grade.
first.
Yeah, my grade initially was a C plus, leaving the movie theater. Since then, I've got to
mm.
see movies like The Flash and The Fast and Furious and other movies, and I've much like Thanos did in the Avengers Endgame. I think I judged you too harshly to Nebula. I think I judged this movie too harshly. But after hearing Chris's point and Mike's point, maybe I was just right. But I don't know. I don't know. Like I'm vacillating right now before I give you my official thought because
Mm.
my brain is still working. I want to give it a little bit more than the C plus I gave it when I first came out the movie theater. But I'm also
Mm.
not at the B minus that Chris is at, and we don't have a grade in between.
C plus
The
plus.
So if I
B
flip
double
the
minus, C
coin,
double
if I flip
plus.
the imaginary coin, I think I'm gonna land at a B minus. I want to give it a little more than my first impression.
All right.
So yeah, I'm gonna B
Yeah,
minus.
I do feel like looking at this summer
Mm.
in the fight for the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth movie in a franchise. This is landing right behind Indiana Jones for me for having fun watching it, enjoying myself, even if I has a lot of things to pick apart. It's definitely not a very well put together film, but it had all of the elements. It had some heart to it, and it had some good visuals to it. I think overall, it says this universe, this Bay non-Bay Transformers universe has some legs that I didn't think it would have. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, I want to thank you guys for joining me. I had a good time talking about a good time movie.
Thank you for having us, Chris. As always.
You know, I don't want people to think that we only talk about movies that we have problems with. I
Yeah.
can't wait till we get back to some A plus movies.
Oppenheimer.
Well, I guess we just did Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah, that's
which
true.
was
And
up
we
there.
haven't done
So
Spider Verse
I guess
yet.
we're not too
We
far
haven't done
removed.
Spider Verse on
No, we
air yet.
haven't done. So I watched Nimona on Netflix. Guys, go if you like animated movies. That
Mm.
Disney is afraid of LGBTQ people, so it is now on
Yeah.
Netflix, which is a good because it was a great movie. Go watch Nimona
Okay.
on Netflix.
Okay.
Okay.
That's my recommendation at the end of our show. Speaking of recommendations, Mike, where can they come to tell us what they thought of the whether this is better than the Bay era of Transformers?
Yeah, as usual, we're all over the internet at Heroes Peak, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Uh, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell in the corner to get notifications.
Ding ding.
Leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of the Rise of the Beast. Hit us up if you want to talk to James about San Diego Comic Con next week.
Yes, please.
And, any other questions you might have.
All right. Thank you very much. We will see you guys next week. Safe
All
travels.
right. Night.
Night.
Hey, Indigo made the beat.